Morning, Mitt. Want to come outside with us? Steve? What do you think? Let's go. I got on triple layer jammies with long johns and socks and a jacket. And where are the participants? I kind of don't blame you, Steve, if you don't want to come out. T-Rex, you want to go out? You sure you want to go out? Think about it. Think about it. Yeah? Okay. The reason I'm thinking about it is because how many times have we said that? It's colder south than north. Again today, 30 degrees here, Weymouth, Boston, just about 9 a.m. on Friday, December 6th. And Atlanta, Georgia, actually is colder than Boston by 8 degrees this morning. We have record cold over the southeast. That's because the high pressure system went to the southeast. We have a strong low pressure system north of New England. The storm yesterday that was 992 is down to 976 and continuing to deepen. Has not yet achieved bombogenesis, but is working on it and is responsible for the wind this morning. More the low barometer to our north than the high barometer to our south. And where there is a high barometer, it is record cold again today. I think this is about the 6th day in a row. Atlanta down to 22. Crossville, Tennessee down to 12 in Tennessee this morning. Freezing right down to the Gulf of Mexico. Front is stalled in North Florida underneath over the top of a 1035 millibar high pressure system. This is that same high we talked about last week with the negative 40 in Canada. So at least it's 60 degrees warmer than it was in Canada when this high arrived in the southeastern United States. And until the high pressure systems decide to come to New England, we are not going to get record cold, but we are getting the wind and the chill. This morning on Mount Washington, the temperature down to negative 3.7 or 8, let's call it 4 below zero. And on Mount Washington, the wind this morning at 5 a.m. gusted to 116 miles per hour. Yikes. I think the wind chill somewhere around 30 or 40 below. But we do not have wind chill advisories in New England because the temperature is just not that low. The cold air was more west and south of us. It all has to do with where the high pressure system sets up. We do have snow in the air, or we did this morning as the sun was coming up. There were a couple of snow streaks there. You see them on the radar. A little bit of lake effect snow left, but the air is drying out and it's becoming more stable. The barometer is going up today. But it was snowing at Sunday River. Not only the HKD snow guns, here at the summit view, you can see as the chairs were loading, there are some wind hold issues. It was snowing at Sunday River and a few other spots this morning. That makes this the 9th day in a row with snow somewhere in New England. And I really don't see an end to this streak in sight. Jay Peak is talking about, 20 inches in the last 48 hours, 50 inches since Thanksgiving, 4 feet of snow at the summit of Jay Peak since Thanksgiving. That'll help dent the drought. And there are a few people talking about the veracity of all this data. Well, there's some data that you cannot question, like a snow stake. And it has been turning over properly the last 24 hours at Mount Mansfield. Stowe Resort maintains this, or actually Vail maintains it at most of their resorts. This snow table that tips over every morning at 5 a.m. And before it tipped over this morning, it showed 11 inches of snow. So that's real data. And the snow stake at the top of Mount Mansfield had 20 inches late yesterday before it stopped snowing this morning. So we are getting a little break in the snow action. The satellite image this morning shows, if you look real closely, the ocean effect snow and some upslope snow or clouds continuing. And you can also see the snow on the ground in Connecticut, northern Rhode Island, and more southwest of Boston than northwest of Boston. I know it's really hard to see, but that little faint white on the map there. And then if we go back to my view right here, those are ocean effect clouds. That is when the cold air goes over the relatively warm water. It rises, cools, and condenses. That's the same thing, sort of lake effect, but it's stable enough and it's dry enough, and we don't have convergence at the surface. We've got divergence at the surface this morning that it's not snowing, I don't think, anywhere in New England at this hour. Nothing but blue sky that is sinking air. So over the next several days, we have to monitor where the highs and where the lows are going to go. It looks like the southeastern ridge is going to try and lift back up, and it should warm up in the southeast. I always say watch the backside of these high pressure systems. However, what's coming out of north central Canada and off the Pacific Ocean is going to play a significant role in keeping us on sort of the colder side of the front. And a real important development is the return of the negative North Atlantic oscillation. There it is in a chart. It goes down to -1. So whenever you get that, that's called the Greenland block setting back up. You're gonna see the forecast tend colder and colder, and that's what's going on right now. Also going on is the leaves are swirling, and that's sending Steve into kind of a tizzy. And I hope you're hearing me okay. I got my noise canceling mic on. I'm trying to hide from the wind. What is it, Steve? What do you see? Where do you see? Where are the leaves? Here you go, Steve. Steve, get that leaf. All right. Brief intermission. Back to the weather. Back to hiding behind the Alberta spruce. So all those forecast maps I've been showing you with that rain snow line, it was so far south on a couple of these systems coming at us in the next 7 days. Well, now they moved north over the last 3 days. Now they've moved back south again. So I guess it's a moving target for next week. We've talked about that a bunch of times. And so why don't we just cut right to the chase? No, actually, we've got to show the HRRR first. Oh, time out. T-Rex is a little stuck. What is it, Rex? He got himself wrapped around something. That's what we do around here. We untangle each other. We untangle our words. And, yep, things need an upgrade for sure. Always got to upgrade. Everything is broken all the time. Huh, Chuck Stockdale, Bob Dylan. Sorry. So, yeah, you come here because you're entertained by all this, right? Or you fall asleep or you change the channel. It looks like there have been some significant shifts again in the guidance from last night. So let's just go. Oh yeah, I said I was going to go to the HRRR. Oh yeah, the HRRR showing a little bit of snow trying to come into northern New England late today, tonight, before midnight. And then it's a weakening wave. A few days ago, it looked like the wave that was coming along from the northwest to southeast tomorrow was going to be stronger, but now the guidance has shifted to a Sunday wave. Oh, interesting. Look at that. On the Sunday morning, this goes out to Sunday morning now, it shows a rain snow line right down to Nantucket Sound. So we've got so many things going on here. I want to go back to the big picture. And what is that? Snow on the ground on Sunday morning for a lot of New England. Well, that's the warmer air trying to come back north but running into the colder air. And here it is on a wider scale using pivotalweather.com, the Euro model ECMWF, and there's that little front coming into New England tomorrow and then kind of stalling, and then a stronger low is going to come along the front, mostly to our north, but it's going to have a tough time getting to the north. So there it is Sunday morning, a little bit of snow and rain, and that kind of eases out, but the front is stalled and left over us. And then here comes another wave with a warmer air mass trying to come at us on Monday. So that's two systems in the next 48 hours. We'll stop at Monday at 10 p.m. So Monday night, we've been talking about this warm front where a couple days ago, well, 4 days ago, the rain snow line was in southern New England. 2 days ago, the rain snow line was north of Maine, and now the rain snow line is in southern New England again. And you have high pressure to our north, and the low is fairly weak moving up into the Great Lakes, and that Greenland block is the reason that we're going to see us staying on the colder side. I thought this might happen. Not a lot of snow for southern New England, but it would be like day 10 or 11 in a row, and, well, maybe not for southern New England, but in New England. So there is a warm front with some snow here Monday night. So got that Saturday night, Monday night, so every other night. And then we'll put this back in motion. And I mentioned yesterday that Tuesday looks like we do warm up, but not that warm. I mean, there's not a lot of flow from the southwest, so it'll be warm enough that any precipitation can be rain on Tuesday, but it's not that much. But then the front is stalled now from eastern Canada down to the Gulf of Mexico. Energy coming at us from the Pacific and from the Gulf of Mexico, and it looks like we are going to turn quite wet Not that warm, but quite wet on Wednesday with the rain snow line fairly far north, but sinking south quickly. So if we stop at Wednesday now at 7 p.m., there's about 1,001 millibar low over Long Island, and there's still room to adjust that left or right. We adjust it right, rain snow line comes right. Adjust it left, rain snow line goes left, west, in other words. Oh, timeout. T-Rex, is that an eagle? We've got a large bird floating like an eagle with a gull right behind it. And I see a very white tail and a very white head. We are getting the bald eagle flyby, and T-Rex is acknowledging it. T-Rex, what do you think of that bird up there? So, of course, I time out for birds. Does anybody dispute that there's a bald eagle going right next to my Old Glory this morning? There it is, right over our head. Never know. This is why we go out the door for weather and more every single day. Because if you don't go out the door, you don't know what's going to happen. And the eagle and these big birds of prey love the strong wind. It's almost effortless for them to stay airborne. Just point it into the wind, right? It's like when we go skiing, just point them downhill. The deeper the snow, the easier it is. Yes, T-Rex, we heard you. That was very interesting. Of course, I've lost track of what's going on. We got birds, boats, and the planes landing towards the west, into the wind. 11 minutes. Let's resume the Euro model already in progress. And we were on Thursday night, and I talked about the low on the front. Wednesday night. Now we put it back into motion on Thursday. Maybe we don't have a storm next Thursday. It looks like it's going to be on Wednesday night because cold air advection returns to New England next Thursday, and another record cold high pressure system going to the southeastern United States. The southeastern ridge just has disappeared for the most part so far this early December. And then it goes out to, Friday. There's a 1050 high over New England. That would be our chance for a record cold next Friday, 1 week from today. That's a real impressive high. And whenever you see that kind of high, you're going to think that it's going to offer resistance. That high is off to our north on day 10, which is now Sunday, December 14th. And there's a low pressure system in the middle of the nation and a strong high to our northeast, so that system in the middle of the nation probably is going to have a tough time bringing warmer air in our direction. So all of a sudden, now since Thanksgiving, we've turned a corner and we are in a rather cold regime with just a brief warm interruption here about Tuesday and Wednesday, and I believe we're going to have a net gain of snow in our mountains next week. I have a feeling that it's going to continue to trend a little colder. And I've got a lot of friends that were supposed to meet at Killington and ski Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I don't think we're going to avoid all the rain, but I think we're going to avoid a major meltdown. T-Rex is not avoiding a major meltdown. I think we're done with the weather for now. There have been so many snow shots. I really appreciate them and all the data and all the contributions. Yesterday I stood out here waiting for a snow squall to come through, and one did not happen. They were missing off to the west and the north. And look at this little tangled web we weave right here. I don't know how I can untangle you. Oh boy, everybody wants to go in. They all want to go in, and they're all stuck. And more from yesterday. Invited over to Brio and a Toys for Tots fundraiser at the Hingham Shipyard. A great time was had by all, and I got to meet one of my virtual friends, virtual because we've only met online over the last 5 years, even though we're practically neighbors here, Jim Manning, engineer and meteorologist, and really fun meeting everybody there, and Bob and Fran and Doug, of course, and James, and I can't remember all the names. Sorry, Tom, and over there at Brio in their beautiful courtyard, Rudolph is waiting for the first snow of the season to accumulate on his nose there in Hingham, which is just right over there. So Very close. We can see Hingham from here. We can also see Cohasset and Quincy and Boston and so on and so on. All right, that's it. Here's the and more from yesterday. Always exciting. I'm going to write a new J blog today. It's going to be hard to beat this week, isn't it? But it's mostly good news. And we'll talk to you in 24 hours. So we just came in, and Rex is kind of spazzing out and running back and forth. No, not this way, Rex. We just went out. Come on, this way. Come on. Where's Steve? Get him. Get him. Yeah. Get him. Get him. He's in there. Come on, Rex. This way. Right here, Rex. Right here. Rex, over here. Where are you going, Steve? What are you doing? Good boy. No, we just went out. Is your dog like this? You just come in, he wants to go back out again right away. Where's Steve? You get him. You get him. That was fun. Who are you going to call? Leaf Busters. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I saw 6. 6 of them in the backyard over there. That'll get it done faster. You know how I love the sound of Leaf Busters. Grass busters, stick busters, everybody's got an engine for everything. Well, my engine is the sky, and I think it's time for a time lapse. Even though the radar shows a few snow showers or whatever, rain showers going through Nantucket Sound, and there's no sign of anything upstream, but the sky certainly is threatening. So let's watch the crow swivel and the clouds come in. Another day with cold air coming in a little bit more from southwest than west or northwest. High amplitude flow. Let's let it roll. Just past 2 p.m. The snow from earlier is long gone. Maybe we'll get another one. 90 minutes, about 3:30. Surprised how little wind there is right now. At a band stall near Sunday River. Also the Berkshires. Another band went south of Cape Cod. But here in Weymouth, looks like a little Virga on the horizon. Little orange in there. But nothing for now. Still a chance. Still a chance we'll be making a little more video before the day is done. Certainly a full day time lapse. And I just saw Mike the mailman. He said it snowed hard between 6 and 7. I missed that and I didn't get it on my time lapse. There's some Virga down there. You see that slant from upper right to lower left there? That would be the precipitation coming out of the sky, but the cloud is moving faster to the right than the precipitation is landing on the ground, so that's why it's slanted to the left. So there are some hydrometeors around. I think we made 40 degrees. All right, things to do. Christmas trees to buy. Lights to string. Winter is here. Day 8 in a row, New England snow. It's a party! They do harmony.
This is for my grandson, so...
And a Grinch mobile. Oh! Oh yeah. Pull it over. Pull it over, Grinch. That'll teach you.
He's stuck.
I'm not on the water, but look at this. It's like,
Out the door.
so take a look here, and it's like, welcome. You can see the ferries.
What's that first step? It's a doozy. There we go. Fires at Alma Nova. Anybody out on the deck? walking a dog. Looks like T-Rex. Neat. Wow, a lot of history here. Going out another door. Where are we now?
We're on the second
Wow.
common area, and there's Rudy, and there's water, and there's water.
Look at this.
Great job. Is he happy or what?
We've got the cold moon, the love planet Venus, and please keep off the grass, Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. The Brio Rudolph.
That's Jeff's next door neighbor. Jeff is right above where that car is right now. The blue, anyway, this is all back. There's the towers.
Our house is over there next to that dark hill. And then looking over at 3A and up at Venus, the love planet, and the moon. What a fascinating night. We'll play it out with some time-lapse from the first day with snow on the ground in southeastern New England and Rudolph.